Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a realization that I had about the next Battlefield game's design approach and the way EA is just making the game in general, the things they're going for. This isn't any big revelation. I'm sure a lot of you have thought the same thing I'm going to talk about in this video, but the way EA is approaching making this next Battlefield game is quite possibly one of the most arrogant, egotistical, and flat-out ballsy things I have ever seen. Particularly because of the situation the Battlefield franchise is in right now. In this video, I'm going to lay everything on the table, everything we know about the next Battlefield game so far, in terms of what they're trying to do, and the current situation. So without further ado, if you enjoy the content, check if you're subscribed. Over 50% of you that watch my content that enjoy it regularly are not subscribed. So do me a favor, check if you're subbed, and of course, drop a like. Thank you to everyone that does that. And thank you for watching the videos. Your time is never taken for granted. So allow me to paint this picture, if you will, using an analogy. UFC fans, anyone that watches UFC fights, will most likely know who Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards are. They fought multiple times, and Leon Edwards had one of the most unbelievable upset knockouts in UFC history. The way the fight went was Kamaru Usman was sailing towards an easy title defense. He dominated Leon for most of the fight, and it was the 5th round. Leon Edwards needed to knock him out in order to actually win the fight. Against all odds, with under 2 minutes to go, Leon Edwards throws a Hail Mary head kick, knocking the champion Kamaru Usman out cold and winning the title for himself. The situation is very similar for Battlefield, but of course, Battlefield isn't getting beaten up for 5 rounds by someone else. Battlefield is beating itself up over multiple years by releasing shitty games. But the point is, Battlefield kind of needs to deliver a knockout with the next game to win us back. And so far, judging off of the communication and the things that we have seen, the game is looking pretty good. But in classic EA and DICE fashion, they can't help themselves, and they're taking an unbelievably ambitious approach to this next Battlefield game, even though they appear to be returning in part to what made Battlefield great in certain aspects. The reason why I say their approach is arrogant, egotistical, ballsy is we all know, at least if you look at it my way, EA has like the largest ego of all time. They're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless of how any past events went. With this next Battlefield game, they are doing a free-to-play battle royale, a free-to-play gauntlet mode, which I made a video about the other day, the base game multiplayer mode, which everyone already expects, and on top of that, a campaign. And keep in mind, all of this is coming after the fact of them releasing Battlefield 2042, which is considered to be the worst Battlefield game of all time. Now, some would call this approach they're taking with the next Battlefield game ballsy, some would call it stupid. I think it's a little bit of both, but I also think EA and DICE only know how to do one thing, and that is do it big when it comes to Battlefield. They're never going to back down because of a bad release, and that might be to their detriment, but it could be to their benefit. As I've stated in many videos before, it is really just down to their quality and execution. If they get everything right with all these modes, it could be utterly spectacular. But it also leaves the door wide open to one of the most catastrophic failures we have ever seen in the history of gaming. Unsurprisingly, a large portion of the Battlefield player base is extremely against this Battle Royale being featured in the game. People cite Firestorm failing, people cite Hazard Storm failing, and I do have to partially agree with at least some of their points. Even if Firestorm was separate from Battlefield 5, I'm not so sure that it would have been super successful because I don't really think Firestorm was that great to begin with. It was fine, but again, I don't think it was anything utterly spectacular. Then Hazard Zone, on the other hand, was, I'm sorry, one of the worst attempts at a game mode I think I've ever seen. What a piece of shit. I don't even feel like talking about it. Another point people bring up is them making a Battle Royale mode right now will take away from the base game. You know, they always say, you could have used all this time and effort you put into the Battle Royale mode and used it in the multiplayer mode. We could have had more maps, more weapons, more content, a better campaign, better this, that, and the other. And they could be right, but who's to say that that studio that's working on the Battle Royale would be assigned to work with DICE and other studios to work on the multiplayer mode? Maybe they wouldn't use that studio at all otherwise. But I think EA is going to do EA things. I think they undoubtedly see the potential of Battlefield within a Battle Royale setting, and they are not going to stop until they get what they want, which is why they keep trying to do it. And again, I think it still has potential, but it also has potential to piss everyone off. Then you have to consider all of these other things with just the base multiplayer. Have we ever seen worse maps in our lives than Battlefield 2042's maps? Who's to say that these maps are going to be so much better in the next Battlefield game? I hate to say this, but their ability to design coherent Battlefield maps is in great question at this point. And we all know that maps are one of the most important things in the game, if not the most important thing in the game for many people, and there's a big difference between the map design we saw in games like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 1, and the map design we saw in Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042. Combine this with the fact that we have all these other separate topics to question them on. Can they actually design competent gunplay? Is the recoil going to be bugged, like it was in Battlefield 2042? Are they going to make the mistake of decoupling recoil from screen center, like they did in Battlefield 5? Are they going to make the mistake of nerfing the movement into complete unusability, like they did in Battlefield 1? Can they handle delivering all these separate aspects of this next Battlefield game while also maintaining the quality and returning to the roots like they said they would? That is what makes this next Battlefield game so interesting. That is why I am saying their approach to this next Battlefield game is their most ambitious, their ballsiest approach yet. Can it turn out to be incredibly stupid in hindsight? Absolutely. It might even be stupid now. But it is what they're doing, and all we can do is wait and see how this turns out. They do have Battlefield Labs. They are going to be running probably more playtesting than ever, and hopefully the feedback they take from Battlefield Labs helps them deliver on this incredibly ambitious vision they have set for themselves with the next Battlefield game. Make no mistake, they cannot fail at any aspect of this next Battlefield game. It has to be locked in. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. Some of you might watch my videos all the time and think you're subscribed, but you actually aren't, so just check that. And of course, drop a like on the video. Helps the channel out immensely. Thank you to everyone that does that. I also stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. First link in the description, and this very YouTube channel, of course, because I multi-stream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.